Hello, excuse me. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Danny here, along with Psychic Duck, sitting up on the perch. Hello, everybody. He's just chillaxing with his friends, her friends, them friends. Anyway, let's get into just the energies of the week since I wasn't here on Monday. And this is going to be a shortish video because lots going on with the holiday week. So for those who celebrate, stay safe. For those who are on the West Coast, stay safe. Huge storm coming on the West Coast. We're supposed to be getting like 4 inches of rain. Yikes. I wish I would have cleaned out my gutters and the roof. So, yeah, we'll see. All right, so let's see what we got. Shortish video this week, and I always like to pull some energy cards for the week, for beginning of the spread, and I'm using my Grand Tarot Deluxe, and as I look at the bottom of the deck, we have justice coming. Yeah, okay. So I think, is it this week? I don't know. Let's just keep that hopium going. Justice. 2 cards flew out of the deck when I pulled the cards out of the box. Ace of Coins. And since we are moving into a 1 year and we're ending up this 9 cycle, it's a good card to get. We're moving into a new beginning, a new awareness, new projects. So many people are stepping into that new energy, new vibration, and it's got us all buzzing a little bit. The second card I pulled, the Sun card, full illumination. Happiness, joy. In this deck, that sun image does not look like, oh, joy, let's ride naked on the back of a little horse. No, let's ride naked on the back of a horse. That's in the original Rider-Waite. This is like, ooh, serious. And so when you put it together with justice, I think we get a full illumination of justice and a new start. Certainly when you start looking at some of the news cycle, please don't. But when you start looking at some of that, we're going to dig into it a little bit. Oh, I should start this video out with breaking news. And I'm really serious. This is serious news. Do I have it here? Hang on. Okay, yeah, I had to pull up my iPad for my notes. These rambles do take work. It's like hard to stitch all these crazy thoughts together. I like what Heather Cox Richardson says. She goes, I like to create a story from all your questions that you send me. And I thought, oh, good for her. Somebody should do it. All right, let's just pull a quick spread for the rest of the week for the holidays. Stay safe, everybody. Stay in joy. Stay protected. There's a lot of engagement that's going on, and sometimes you don't need to engage. You can just observe. And as I like to say, observe, don't absorb. Don't flip people off in the parking lot when they steal your parking space. I don't know who would have done that recently. Not me. I just yelled at them. All right. Just for the week. Yay, a little illusion delusion that looks like the 10 of Cups. It looks like rainbows. And I love this 7 of Cups card. Normally, it's like, what do we do? It's a fog. It's confusion. It's, oh, I think I have this right. No, you don't. It's illusion, delusion. And when I say illusion, delusion, I think of, and when I mention fog, I think of fog of war, illusion, delusion. And so as our fearless, pumpkin-seeded, headed leader says, going into Venezuela, doing all this crazy crap, wanting new warships, we'll get into that. It's just crazy. It's illusion. But there's a rainbow at the end of this, or through this. So this feels so much like the Ten of Cups, like a celebration. And as we move on, this feels like a celebration. The Four of Wands. Yeah. Love it. And, the Three of Wands. So it's information coming from overseas. We're watching ships come in, go out. Oh my gosh, breaking news. Some factory just shuttered this week. We'll get into that. Breaking news. Watching our ships come in, go out, but it feels like this is news from overseas. So even though it's a little confusing, there is a rainbow coming. There is a celebration coming. And again, I keep getting news from overseas. So we'll just stick with that. All right. So here's what I'm going to talk about. 3 things. We're going to talk a little bit about bootlegging. It's going to be fun. So my very first bootlegged record that I got was Jethro Tull, Oh God. And I thought, wow. I mean, that was a squirrel moment for me to get that. Not really. But so I'm off in Squirrel Land, and I looked up you can find it online in Google, of course, YouTube. And there is a video of the full Oh God concert. And so I'm like, well, what's that English bloke saying? Speak English, will you? Oh, he is speaking English. Okay. When you Google the lyrics of Oh God, it's like, oh God, this is just what we're going through. Anyway, it was fun to do that. All right. Where are we going with this? Let's talk about bootlegged. So I'm getting these 3 things that we're going to talk about from the Hopium Chronicles. And it's a newsletter, and it's full of hope. And I use Hopium Chronicles, Heather Cox Richardson, Joyce Vance, mainly for my news sources these days. I think our media system has failed us, as you all know. And the independent news is trying, but there's some growing pains there, i.e. the Midas Touch Network. They've got like 7 million people watching them, which is great. The constant breaking news story and clickbait. Do they have to do that? Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't have 7 million subscribers yet. Okay. Let's see where we're going to go with this. Okay, so bootleg. 60 Minutes. Barry, what was her name? Barry Weiss pulled a 60-minute story on the CECOT terrorist prison in El Salvador. And at the last minute, she pulled it. And this had been vetted by lawyers and CBS and they said, we fact checked 5 times this was accurate. You don't need to pull it. It's accurate. She goes, yeah, we're going to pull it. But Canada had it. She sent it to Canada. What? How incompetent. So Canada's now releasing it. So one of the people in the Chronicles, what they were talking about was, if Barry Weiss would have just let it run, she would have gotten a couple million views. But now, this is probably going to be the most watched 60 Minutes interview because it's bootlegged. My Jethro Tull, oh God, I mean, I would listen to that all the time. It was bootlegged. Speaking of bootlegged, Jim Beam Distillery, it closed. Jim Beam, bourbon. What? Well, it's the holidays. I go back to Jethro Tull. The Christmas spirit is not what you drink. But come on, this political system, don't we need a lot of Jim Beam? Well, maybe not. Maybe we just need to have clear vision. Speaking of clear vision, Trump is, it's hard to say that word, Trump. Sorry. He is commissioning a warship, a new fleet of warships. We're going to start off with that. There was a former admiral who is director at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies, and he said that this golden fleet with Trump's image on the back, is exactly what we don't need. So let's look at this. When was the last warship built? Now this kind of confuses me because I thought that there were recent ships built under Bush, but maybe they're not the class of warships. Maybe they were just cruisers or something like that. But warship is big, big. And I go, I thought you were the peace president. Why are you building war machinery? Okay. But the last warship, the last battleship, let's get our terminology right, in history to be built was the HMS Vanguard, completed in 1946. And HMS refers to His Majesty's Service, I think. Okay. Or her, depending on who it is. And the last battleship commissioned by the U.S. was the USS Missouri, United States ship, I think, Missouri. And that was built in 1944. It was decommissioned in 1990. So the proposed ships are focused on the president's visual that a battleship is cool looking. A cool looking ship with his picture on the back of it. So what I want to read on, how long will it take to decommission all of Pumpkinhead's images from well, I don't even know how many he's put on. I mean, he's changing so much stuff, the Kennedy Center. And I'm like, is that name already changed? I mean, did he already put that up on the building? I think he did. I'm like, I mean, not to just keep repeating myself, but you need congressional approval. Oh, speaking of congressional approval, you can't build a warship without congressional approval. But then again, you need Congress to be in session to get approval. Oh, what a world. How long is it going to take? Let's just look at, I'm just going to do 6 real quick, see if I get any fast cards coming in. You know, is his name going to be, an image going to be everywhere like it is now? Or is it going to end? Is it going to end? Let's just look at, well, we could look at this month. A lot of people thought that he was going this month, right? And certainly by every time I get like a hiccupy thing, I'm like, before I thought, oh, what's going on? Now it's like you're on the right track when I get these hiccups. I'm like, really? That's how you're going to tell me I'm on the right track, by hiccuping? Whatever. I stopped trying to make sense of things a long time ago. So, a lot of people have thought that he would be gone by Christmas. I mean, I thought he was going to be gone by July. I thought he was going to be gone by my birthday. I thought he was going to be gone by the Christmas, and I also, you know, I think his regime is still there until like the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks of January of the new year. But and I keep, you know, this is where I take a whole dose of Hopium that I double it many days, that that the whole regime goes. And so certainly he has done so much that is, in my humble opinion, treasonous, that I say that this is, I'm talking, the duck told me to say that. This is entertainment only. This is really entertainment only. Oh, yeah, I know. Some people don't get it the first 2 times. Entertainment only. So he has done so much against the law and broken the law that, my opinion only, that, yeah, they could cause it treasonous. Now, some people will say that that Epstein file law, well, that really wasn't a law. Or, I mean, they're massaging it. They're trying, yeah, another dope of Hopium, please. Where's my Jim Beam? Okay. So I want to see, let's just see if we get some quick movement. 17 minutes. I thought this was going to be a short one. Okay. How quick are we going to see his image off of all this stuff? Kennedy Center. This stupid ass ballroom. All that gold crap all over. And the little signs underneath the presidents. You know, I don't know, some people are saying, oh, that was treasonous. I don't think that is. But then again, I'm not the guy to ask. Psychic ducks. The duck, ooh. King of Cups. And so many, there's many people. But a lot of us go that, and some psychics have said that there's going to be an interim government. And it's going to be led by the King of Cups. Certainly that's not Pumpkinhead. 4 of Cups, looking at an offer. So the King of Cups was my Joe Biden card. I don't think that's him. Could he step in? Yeah, he could. But I mean, he's battling his own, he's doing his cancer treatment. So is it somebody else? Some people say it would be Obama. Obama's certainly full of hope and calm. Ooh, let me drop this down. These are kind of some good cards we're getting here. Judgment at the base of it. How soon is he going to be removing his name from all this stuff? Five of Wands is in the past. You look at that Turning Point convention and you see all the MAGA people starting to battle each other. All right, chills. Queen of Cups, Lotus, the POTUS at the top. You heard me shuffling. Karmic Wheel of Fortune. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, guys. So the only thing that I can say with this, I mean, did I get fast cards? This is kind of, it's kind of a fast card. When you get into an argument, sometimes they just come out of the blue and you're like, bam, 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 bam. The Karmic Wheel of Fortune, that can be fast and slow, but as wheels spin, we got Kamala Harris up at the top, we got Joe Biden in the center, and we got somebody looking at an offer, and somebody's being judged about all the divisiveness that has been caused in the past. All right. Dang, that was a double dose of hopium, wasn't it? You betcha. Double dose of hopium. Good Lord. Okay. So I'm not sure how fast it was that we're going to get this, but we're going to get it. We're going to get that calming energy coming in. King and Queen of Cups. That's sitting on top of Judgment. Because we have the Wheel of Fortune in the future, near future. All right. Feel like I just should stop right here. Okay. Bootleg copies. CBS. That was pretty phenomenal, I thought. The other thing that came out was the Department of Justice released some more of the Epstein files, and they're sick. They're awful. And then they pulled them again, and it's hard to keep track. Was that the first one or was that the second one? I mean, they release them and then they pull them, release them and then pull them. So I don't know. I cannot drop into that energy and focus on it that much. But I think this is the second time that they put them out and then they released them. And there's some notes in there that Jeffrey Epstein wrote while he was in prison, I think a couple of days before his life was ended. And some people say suicide. I say no, for entertainment only. But let's go to the bootleg. How many bootlegged documents on this Epstein are going to be coming out? Because this came out, and if you just join the Hopium page, there's a free thing, or you can subscribe to it. Just do the free one, and you'll be able to see this, or subscribe if you appreciate his work. I keep feeling like there's something overseas, like Jack Smith has something. But I don't, is it the Epstein? I don't know if Jack Smith has the Epstein, but is there a bootleg? Is there a bootleg? You know, if you have MAGA in the Department of Justice, they want this stuff out. Is MAGA only, you know, is there only one leader to it? Or it feels like it, but does he really get to call the shots when Dan Bongino left? Is he going to release something? All right. You know, he signed a non-disclosure stuff. Is there another bootlegged copy of some of these files besides the Epstein trust? Because they're still giving some. But is there a Department of Justice copy that's going to be released that people will believe? We have the 4 coins. So when I look at this, a lot of times this is hold on, this is loss. Not so much loss, but be careful how you spend your money. Just hold on. But look at this treasure trove, and he's got one in his hand. We're talking about a bootleg copy of what the Justice Department has, 10,000, 100,000, whatever pages. Is there another copy? That dude's got it. I called him a dude. What's up, dude? You gonna share that? Ooh. And look at the world, the globe. I keep thinking it's coming from overseas. I keep thinking that it's coming from outside of the US. So how does, you know, we all think that we are individual countries, but we are such a global economy. And Pumpkinhead is trying to shrink us into, no, we're just one. It's not going to work. And I think he's pissing off more and more people who are trying to create more and more wealth for themselves. I think he's pissing off the oligarchs. He just canceled automatically these wind farms that are half built. And this is $1 billion industry. Just stopped it. So some of these windmills have like 1 or 2 blades on it. And national security. Everything's a national security. Okay. That's a yes card. 6 of Cups. Going back to a simpler time, going back to innocence. Let me drop this down. At the base, we get the Magician. We have the 9 of Coins in the past, the Wish card. This Falcon has its blinders on though, not flying. This woman is holding that pentacle. At the top of the reading, oh, can't show it, we get the Star of Hope. And in the potential near future, we get the 10 of Cups, the Wish card. Do you guys see any negative cards here? The only really negative card that may be negative is the 4 of Coins, which is we've got it, we're holding on to it, and then let's release it. Let's go back to a simpler time. 6 of Cups. You got the Magician showing things. Yeah. I'm just going to leave it there because I think that that is man, did I overload on my Hopium doses today? These are pretty good readings. Unless you're on the other side of it, then they're really bad readings. All right, what else do we have? I guess that's it. I was just looking at Jim Beam closing down. But at least we have our Hopium. Thank you guys for watching. I I may not be on for a couple of days, so if those of you who celebrate, Merry Christmas. And I will try to be on Friday with another short one. Linda and I are scheduled for Saturday ramble. So that's always going to, I always have fun with her. So I haven't read with her in like forever. So this is going to be fun. Other than that, enjoy your holiday. Peace and love.